Oh, there we go. Here we
Yeah, I
are. Here
know,
we
man.
are.
We're back.
We're
This
back.
this is wild. Somebody running into poles and knocking stuff out. I don't know what the heck's going on, but this has been real wild here. I guess somebody got into an accident and ran into a pole and knocked some stuff out. I heard the neighbors talking. So this
Did
is
you change something? Because I can barely hear you now.
no. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Barely.
you. I heard
Yeah,
more of an echo
I
now,
can't.
though, but
Yeah,
I
I
can hear
can
you.
too. Yeah.
Oh
Now, is this on the
God.
same link as the
I
original
can
show? Or is it
barely
a
hear
whole new
all of
link?
y'all now.
No, it's a separate link. People got to turn into this one. Um, let's send the link. That would help. Oh God. How in the heck did this happen?
I can't hear none. I can barely hear all of y'all.
Really? I hear
Yeah, I
y'all
got my
good.
volumes turned up. Just 5 seconds ago, everything was normal. Now it's you guys sound like you're in a tunnel.
I hear you fine. I hear
Yeah.
everybody fine.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm trying to
I'm hearing
sit
everybody
back because
fine
my back
too.
is
Yeah.
killing me. I gotta sit up so I can try and listen. Yep, all my volumes are turned up.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I see it on YouTube.
You see it?
Yeah.
Can you take the link and put it into your page?
I actually cannot. I'll give it to one of you guys to do that. I'm in jail right now.
Oh. They put you in
Facebook.
there.
Karen Jarrett. I posted a picture of her on Freaky Friday with a towel. 2 days gone.
That's amazing considering what I see on Facebook. It's amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in groups. You seeing fucking tits? Like, really?
I mean, I see women spread eagle for real. For real.
Right.
Uncovered spread eagle.
Right. They just don't like me.
They got their eyes on certain people, I think.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
I think I'm one of them too.
I mean, and I know what it was because in the group I used to post, like, when there was news leak, I posted them news. Like, when they weren't taking down news, I was
Can anybody
posting
hear
that
me?
stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
hear you now.
Okay. Said the host could add me.
All right. So let's go ahead and continue. Where did I miss y'all at?
well, I gave you the ratings
The
that they
tag
gave.
team
So,
match and the final match. We all did our uh, our ratings for the tag team and the world title match.
All right. Let me go ahead and get that out the way. Give me a second. I gotta pull Rob's up here. Tag team match. Oh, I already said Rob.
yeah,
Rob
I
had a
gave you Chris. The
3.5.
only ones you were missing was Chris and Marcus. I thought on that.
I think we both had threes,
Yeah, we
right,
got.
Marcus?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got that. I got that. Okay, so we're talking about Lesnar and Reigns.
I gave
Marcus
it
Mark.
a
gave it a
4.
3.5.
Yeah.
Chris said it was the match of the night. He gave it a 4. I didn't like this shit, so I gave it a 2.5.
Me and you will never agree, Tony.
Oh, wait till you hear. Wait till you hear Rob's on this glorious main event.
Probably a 1. Rob's been on one.
I wish I could say that, but Reigns Lesnar 0.
Damn.
Absolute garbage in capital letters.
No, look,
Top contender for worst SummerSlam
No.
main event
No.
ever.
Wow.
Rob was drinking or something, dude. He
Just-
watched it at like
hold-
3 o'clock in the morning. He
let me
wasn't
finish.
himself.
Let me finish.
Let him finish preaching.
The second
Free pop.
dumbest thing in wrestling 2022, topped only by the Jackass match. The only reason it doesn't get negative stars is due to the fact that it was 2 actual professional wrestlers involved in it.
I can't wait to see Rob next week.
He gave it donuts.
I get him on. I didn't give it a 0. It wasn't even
No.
the worst.
Rob,
It wasn't
if
even the worst
Rob
match.
was on the show, sometimes we sway his numbers. He'll be like, I agree with Marcus. I agree with Chris. I agree with Tony. He just did this. He was half asleep, probably. Who knows what he was drinking? Jello shots or something.
Yeah.
All his numbers are under 2. He said this was the worst pay-per-view. I thought this was actually their best pay-per-view of the year finally. And they haven't, the changes aren't going to really show up
wait,
for you.
I didn't think that.
Name a better pay-per-view from WWE than this one. Come on, man. They've been bad. They've been bad. Hell in a Cell was bad. WrestleMania was bad.
Oh,
WrestleMania was better than this.
What?
Hell in a Cell was better than this.
Yeah.
WrestleMania had the same matches almost.
Yeah.
No, Hell in a Cell was better than this.
Yeah.
Hey, WrestleMania had the hand.
I can't
Which is why I will probably put this over.
I don't mind being the black sheep of this group. No. I just say no and I'll just walk away. No. I don't believe it.
I mean,
all right. It's my turn on my take on this one. I had mixed feelings on this one. I really thought that it was garbage in what they were doing, but I understand why they had to pull those elements off. Sometimes it's better to just be a fan and just watch, and then but when you understand the science of everything, it kind of ruins it. I thought it was funny when they did the tractor and he tipped the ring over. I thought it was kind of funny on that one. Because if you see Roman Reigns' body roll down,
I did.
I thought that was hilarious. I love that one.
But here's the problem, though: the people on the other side though didn't see that because the ring was
so
blocking.
What? They got to see it get lifted up. They got the TV screen.
And you know what? I gotta say this. I ain't sitting over there, so I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't paying. That's why I ain't paying $1,700 for them seats. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because if I'd have paid $1,700 and they did that, somebody was giving me some money back real quick. Real quick. I mean, I don't care if they would have had to call Vince. They'd had to get it out their pockets real quick.
Papa 8.
Hey, what about the dude with the glasses? The bald-headed dude that kept putting himself in the selfies while him and Reigns and Lesnar were fighting.
Yeah, I know. That was hilarious.
That guy was hilarious. I said, he got his whatever he paid for his ticket, he got the best ticket in the house.
He did. He really did.
But overall, this match was but it wasn't all the way like Rob's saying. But it wasn't all the way good either. It was one of those middle of the road matches that, Lesnar, I agree with Rob on this point. He doesn't need to come back. For the money they paid.
Maybe once a year, once every 6 months.
Yeah. No.
If Lesnar doesn't need to come back, then neither does Goldberg.
Exactly.
He doesn't.
Lesnar need to come back more than Goldberg, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But I
don't think neither of them need to come back. Neither one of them need to come. Let me finish. Neither need to come back. Lesnar is just draining money from the company that they could get about 6 or 7 other superstars for. This should be the end of Lesnar. He need to go back on his farm, grow corn or whatever that he's doing.
Not even in his 50s yet. Nah.
I don't care. He's not showing that he's not in the ring. The man needs to go.
He just did. He just headlined SummerSlam.
Yeah, terribly. You talk about stepping up for SummerSlam. He didn't even get up out the bed for it.
Yes, he did. I disagree.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
That's terrible. That was terrible.
That's why they gave him a standing ovation when he sat at the top of that ring at the end of the match.
Well,
nobody wants to see him go. I don't want to see him. I just don't want to see him all the time.
I don't want him around anymore. Period.
I don't mind seeing him. I don't want to see him weekly, but you can bring him out every once in a while. He don't need.
Ric Flair can wrestle at 70.
My score
can wrestle at 40 something.
My score on this one is a 2.25. I can't give it any higher than that and can't justify it because it was not a good match. It just wasn't.
It was great. Shit.
It wasn't great. There was nothing great about that.
That was an Attitude Era match. That's what it looked like.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it did. It looked like something off of GCW.
I had 3
And
matches.
that
I
was
had
a
3
new
matches better
gimmick.
than
We've
this.
seen all kind of vehicles brought to the ring. We ain't never seen somebody lift the ring with a
Just because
farmer.
we never seen it, I mean, it don't make
Well,
it
that's
good.
what that means. You changed the gimmick. That means you did something I have never
Just
seen
because you
before.
did something that hasn't been done before, don't make it good.
Thank
It
you.
was awesome. Now, had Reigns rolled all the way from the top of the ring down to the bottom, Bobby would have gave him 4.5.
He damn near did though.
Yeah, he damn near did though.
That shit was hilarious.
He was on the
'Cause
left side of that ring. Like
It was entertaining, and do we not want to be entertained? It's
not
this.
like that.
We keep using the word wrestling, and we're watching a wrestling show. None of it's wrestling. I watched the last match I saw
that the
that was
problem?
wrestling was Daniel Bryan and what's his name, Garcia
that
on
was that at?
the
Wednesday.
match.
That's
was that at?
wrestling.
What was that at?
Okay. The rest of them is what you said, sports entertainment.
SmackDown, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre was a good wrestling match.
There
can
you
tell
go.
that Vince
There you
wasn't in
go.
charge on that.
No, it
There you
still
go.
was, it was half. That was 50-50 sports entertainment. Because every time he pulls that sword out, I'm like, one of these days he's actually gonna stab somebody with that damn sword.
And I wish it was Lesnar. I wish it was Lesnar.
Okay,
It'd be a South Side of Chicago crime
All
right there.
Mary kill. How's that game go?
Mary fuck kill.
Yeah. What's the orange juice guy's name?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, Brock Lesnar, the Bunny. Go.
You talk about 3 males and a chick. So the only one that's getting the only one that's getting the F one is the Bunny, and that's only by default. That's only by default.
He want to know who you gonna
I'm
kill,
not
Brock
marrying
Lesnar
neither
or
one of
Orange
them,
Cassidy?
and I'm killing both of them. I'm going on a murder spree. I'm going to be the serial killer, the mastermind Bob Rogers. He's a serial killer now.
I knew that was going to be the answer, but I had to throw it out there.
I'm throwing it in there. Bunny only gets the D by default, and the other 2 get killed right off. And I'm married, and I'm pulling off the Dennis Rodman. I'm marrying myself.
All right. Hey, we got a couple more subs just to go over, like 3 more.
Yeah, we went long on this one.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, somebody wanted to turn out the lights on me and stuff. So, yeah, and it's grand.
If we do take something out, can we save the NXT for another week and just do the 3 underrated?
Oh my God, you read my mind. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
NXT will be next week. Let's do the top 3 underrated wrestlers of today's time. And Tony, go ahead, go first, because I'm still tripping about this Brock Lesnar crap, and I want to stamp something out.
I was writing down wrestlers' names and narrowed this down to 3 to be 1,000% honest with you.
That's hard.
I did 3 men, 3 women. I'm be honest with you. I did 3 men, 3 women.
Go ahead, brother.
And on my women's side, I left out Doudrop, Chris Stanley, and Ruby Soho. I narrowed it down to these 3 women. Gigi Dolan is very underrated as a wrestler, even though she's a part of Toss at the Tracks. She is underrated.
What?
Gigi Dolan, Priscilla Kelly need to get more credit than she's getting. It's my time.
Oh my God, you didn't. Okay.
Gigi is the one that's in NXT, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's Mandy Rose's sidekick.
She's
Priscilla
Candice
Kelly
LeRae to the second power. That's what she reminds me of, Candice LeRae in the ring. Not the promo and I'm just saying her wrestling skill.
Oh,
she reminds me of Candice LeRae.
My other one on here is Naomi. Naomi don't get enough credit for her in-ring. No, she don't get enough credit.
You can't be underrated if you've been a world champion. If you've been a world champion, you're not underrated.
No, because first of all, it was a bullshit run that she never got another one of. And as soon as they bring up these first of all though, and look at all the reigns, all the titles they gave the titles to Becky Lynch and Belle Bailey, and Naomi should be getting the titles over them.
Well, somebody with your booty's a finisher. Come on now.
The girl
that's a winner to me.
Really?
No, I'm just saying, man. I remember when Iceman King Parsons' finisher was the butt move. But come on now. And then look, Oscar don't even have a butt, and she keeps throwing her butt in everybody's face and her moves.
And she gets pushed with her butt. How come she get pushed with her butt? You know, we got a better butt, can't get a better butt.
I know. I agree with you, but Naomi's been a champion.
And that's why Naomi walked out on the asses.
You're not underrated when you've won the world title.
I'm taking them cheeks. I'm taking them cheeks. Them cheeks
You're
win.
not underrated. Underrated people haven't got a shine.
It's my time. It's my time.
You're right.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, but you got six. He's got six people he's going to go through.
And you keep interrupting me. And number 3 on my list is Abaddon. Abaddon, you can shake your head all you want. That woman could go in the ring.
What? Hold on. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
I am, because I'm a Rosemary fan. She stole the gimmick from Rosemary.
No, she didn't.
I don't care who she stole the gimmick from. In AEW, the woman is going in the ring. Her AEW record is 34-3. She only lost 3 matches since she's been there. She's undefeated in 2020, and we can't even get her on Rampage. Like, really? This woman is gold.
Where'd she get the 33 wins then? Because I've seen her like 5 times.
That's my point. That is my point. She got all these wins. They all got to be on Dark. Why aren't you using this woman on regular TV? Why can't she get on Rampage, for God's sakes? Now, on the men's side, I left a lot of guys out there like Bobby Roode, Strong, Shelton Benjamin, Buddy Matthews. But my 3, number 1, by far, Ricochet. Mom, Prince Puma, so you know who he is. Ricochet is so underrated. They don't utilize him the right way. Ricochet should definitely be getting a hell of a lot better push that he's getting. I'm kind of hoping that now that Triple H is in charge, that he will start getting that push. Number 2 on my list for the men is Brock Anderson. Brock Anderson could go in the ring. He still needs some work, but he should be at least on TV. You could at least be trying to develop him in mid-card. He's got the tools to be a success. And I think AEW need to start developing their own talent, because now that things are changing in WWE and you might be losing people, bring up your own talent. AEW got too much WWE talent, not enough homegrown talent. They got the homegrown talent with MJF, Wardlow, Britt Baker, and everything, but you don't have enough of it. And you can really make this kid into a star. And my other one is Max Dupree. Eli Drake, LA Knight, this is the dumbest gimmick ever, and he deserves a hell of a lot better than what they're doing with him.
He's on my list.
Those are my 3 men, 3 women.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
I'm gonna start with Ludwig Kaiser. He's Gunther's bitch. Excuse my language. That guy can go in the ring.
He can.
I love this gimmick with Imperium. I also like when a great heel, a foreign heel. This guy with Gunther shrinking down. I liked Gunther's still strong, but he looked more intimidating when he was the thicker man. Kaiser's almost as big as Gunther now. Like, Gunther looks awkward slimming down to me. I think taking all those chops and being those guys always end up beating the bully and becoming stars. So I think he's underrated now, but I think they're watching him. Ricky Starks in AEW. I'm sorry. I missed the boat when he was in NWA. This guy, he has it all to me. Ricky Starks reminds me of Randy Orton, if Randy Orton could do a good promo when he was young. He can go in the ring. He can sell. The guy's a hell of a promo. And that match, he lost his title this week, but just giving Hook props. We know they just wanted to give Hook that belt. I think Ricky might be injured right now too. But him going up against Hobbs looks like that's what they're setting up. The David and Goliath. Sign me up. I'm in for it. And I got Tommaso Ciampa. This guy's been through everything that every great wrestler that we love has been through. Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. We're talking ROH to NXT to now he's in on the main roster. Ciampa can just go. And people forget when he was with DYI, when him and Gargano tagged up. Who was their rivals? The Revival, FTR. And those were some of the best tag matches at the time, where I was like, damn, tag wrestling is back. FTR cut their teeth fighting Ciampa and Gargano. They really did in NXT. So Tommaso Ciampa to me is a world champion wherever he goes. He's believable. His moveset, promo, gimmick, I'm just with it. And I had an honorable mention was Cesaro. Even though he's the world the ROH world champion.
I can't put Naomi on there because she was a
Because
champion.
I don't that title. I don't put that title. I don't put that title up there yet because they don't even have a company. ROH ain't even in existence right now.
Well, what about
they threw him a bone? We know that's not the title. We know he got that. Ain't gonna satisfy that man. That man could be the AEW champion. The ROH titles are BS. Everybody knows it. It's facts. That there is no ROH right now. There's no it doesn't exist. If they weren't BS titles, then they should start counting all the titles that Daniel Bryan won and CM Punk won and Jay Lethal won in ROH. They don't.
Well, then what about Ciampa?
I'm just saying that's my opinion. You let the man give you 6, I gave you 4. So
okay. All right, well,
I'm just
saying Cesaro's been shitted on. Right now. He had one good moment. He's been shitted on for years. We know how good he is. That ain't an underrated wrestler.
Marcus,
when you're on top, when you on top,
he ain't on top. On top of what? A defunct company.
But we praising Joe for being a TV champ.
Come on, man. Joe's been a champion everywhere, though.
Marcus, go ahead.
All right, my 3. I'm gonna start with Ethan Page. I think he's a good promo, good ring work. I think get him away from Dan Lambert. He can do something. My second one is Ricky Starks. I'm hoping that he gets a push with just his face turn. They do something with him. He has everything. He has the look. He's in shape. I mean, great promo. I mean, everything's there. And the most underrated to me is Murphy. I mean, the guy is a hell of
a good one.
He was one of my
that's a good one. You right.
I think he's the most underrated wrestler, period. I hate they put him with this stupid ass gimmick with the Aleister Black, wherever that group is, Blackout, whatever the hell it's called. But I mean, him and Roman Reigns had a great match on SmackDown one night. I mean, he's just really good. Honorable mention for me is Roderick Strong. I mean, Roderick Strong can go, and he was always like the 4th highest regarded in the Undisputed Era, and he's arguably the best wrestler of all of them. Arguably, that's my honorable mention is Roderick Strong.
They're burying him with that diamond gimmick. That diamond,
yeah, it's horrible.
All right.
Well, they got him in that cut. He tried to quit, and they wouldn't let him.
Yeah. My picks in this.
Good picks, Marcus.
I got a 4th on here. I got 3 and 3. Well, I had to pick 4 because I was tied. It's 2 of them that tied to me, and I can't get off of one of them without having the other. Both of these are women. Both of these 2 are very underrated because both of them is because they size, but for the opposite reason. One, they think it's too small. One, they think it's too big. And that's Doudrop. And that's Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is a technical genius. I love that woman. She can go. And because of her size, they're not looking at her strength. You can be small and strong, and they're not understanding that. Ivy Nile could really carry someone. I could see her with the title and carrying the company, being a either face or a heel for a company. She could go both ways. That makes me think about something. But anyway,
she could though, I think.
But I think she could go both ways. But she's a technical genius. That woman should be actually out there more than what they are giving her. On the other side of the spectrum, and this is the reason why I'm tired, because it's for the same reason, is Doudrop. That woman is a technician. That woman has size. There is no way Liv Morgan No, Mandy Rose, and I know you're going to get mad at me for saying this, but Tony, it's the truth. Mandy Rose shouldn't be touching her. The only one that should be coming around giving her problems is Bianca Belair.
Shayna
Baszler, which is another one.
Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Charlotte.
And one other one. And I was thinking of before you started naming them all. Nikita Lyons. But she's a rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but she's big enough to where she can handle it. And she's got that kung fu background.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She's athletic too.
Boy, she got some athletic to her.
She's fast in the ring, everything.
She's fast, period. We're just gonna leave that alone. But that's tied for 3. 2 you already said was Ricochet. Everybody know that story. Ricochet is getting crapped on worse than if somebody had diarrhea eating ice cream. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know. But my number 1 is Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham is a technical genius. And nobody gives him credit because he hasn't been exposed and marketed. That's the only thing that's wrong with Gresham. They're saying, oh, he's too small. Again, the Ivy Nile disease. Oh, he's too small. But the dude is built like a jack stack a house. How can you not push this dude? Because his muscles alone and his statue could get him over. You did it with Benoit, and he's bigger than Benoit. You know what I'm saying?
I'd love to see him fight Daniel Bryan.
That was my whole focus with that. Was I wanted to see Daniel Bryan and him go at it. That would have been one of the best matches ever.
Yes.
That would have put him on that mat where people would have had to give him respect. And it didn't happen because, Marcus has stated all along. But my thing is, Gresham is a gift that you don't let go. You don't screw that up, because I can guarantee you got a man named Triple H that understands how he works, that understands how to bring that out of him, that understands and has the resources to market that man as a top guy, and people will start choking on their words because I am so sick, and it makes me want to smack somebody. What I see on the internet, they're talking about, well, Jonathan Gresham hasn't done anything. Jonathan Gresham is just a little 5'4" guy. Jonathan Gresham isn't this. Jonathan Gresham isn't that. Have you really sat down and watched a Jonathan Gresham match? And I hope you're watching it, because I told you to watch this. You thought I slipped up because the lights went out and everything and I forgot? No, I ain't forgot. I know you out there. You better be watching. You're an idiot. You gonna sit up here and clown on somebody that's technically gifted like that because he's short? No, I joke about short people, but it's it for it. You know what I'm saying? I call people midgets.
Well, you're like 6'9".
Yeah, but
it's nice to see a brother as a technical wrestler, not just some broad, like you said, Marcus, some coon gimmick or something.
Exactly.
This guy is the black Daniel Bryan. You know.
And see, I think that's the reason why he's not getting over and getting that attention, because he doesn't play them gimmicks. He's a straight up wrestler. He comes in there, he's breaking you off. He's going to find a body part, twist you up, and dare you to say something. If you cry too loud, he's going to go to the other one just to torture you. You know what I'm saying? Gresham is the man.
Yeah.
Think about Gresham and Daniel Bryan as a tag team.
Love to see it.
That'd be better. That'd be a better
idiots.
tag team partner than anybody in Blackpool Combat Club for him, to be honest with you.
He should be in there. But you got people that don't know how to market a black man with intelligence that can wrestle. I'm going to say it straight out.
You know what, though? Impact has always let black wrestlers shine. I have to say that. From a Jay Lethal to a Rich Swann, they've let brothers shine in Impact. And as much as I'd love to see him in WWE, and I think Triple H would know exactly what to do with him. Start him off at NXT, let him win the title, then bring him up. If he was in Impact, I think the guy'd be a world champion immediately.
Well, that's where he's going, because his wife is over there. You know what I'm saying? He's going where his wife at. But if they could get and Jordan Grace is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jordan Grace is good.
Yeah.
So my thing is Triple H. I'm looking at Triple H like, man, I could put one on the women and the men's side with
He's got to start building the roster back up.
And
they got to build that roster back up.
Jordan Grace would be phenomenal in the women's division in WWE, especially in the new direction they're going.
You need veterans.
Shit.
Get some veterans in there.
Jordan Grace is a veteran. Jordan Grace.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying you need veterans. You need them.
And they already put a news thing out saying that they are going to start getting independent wrestlers now again.
Yeah, I saw that.
And saw that. Man. So my thing is this. I'm sorry, my dream match right now, and I know I'm going to sound like a perverted old man right now, but my dream match would be Nikita Lyons versus Jordan Grace.
Sign me up.
Boy. But
why don't we throw in why don't we do Jay Carhill and that, make it a triple threat?
Nah. Jay needs to be on own. Jay don't need to be in no triple. No, she don't need to be.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm thinking rest. No, you talking rest. I'm talking something else.
Oh, okay. I got you. No, we'll talk about that later. But Jordan Grace, and if you let her husband go, would be the dumbest move Tony Khan could do. Because that's going to come back and bite him in the ass. Tony Khan would not have an ass. He would not be able to sit down in board meetings, eating a cheeseburger, nothing. His ass will be bitten off. Because that man can turn a company. I'm not Jordan. I'm going to call him Jordan Grace. God dog it. Jonathan Gresham.
You can't get her out your head, can you?
No, I can't. That birthday cake.
Oh, man.
I still think he's treating the ROH wrestlers like throwaway wrestlers.
Yeah, he is. And he's about to screw up.
Yeah.
His problem is he got so many wrestlers, he doesn't see the value in the ones that he has.
I get this. I get that. And I understand he wants to get instant eyes on Ring of Honor. Okay? He wants to get it. That's why he put Claudio in that spot. If you showcase the man right and put him against good opponents, like ex-WWE stars going to Ring of Honor and losing to him, that would give them more exposure. Claudio should have lost that match and then got an AEW belt. Everybody should have went there and lost to come back and get an AEW belt.
Right.
You know, he should have stayed that mainstay for ROH because that's what ROH was about. Exactly his style of wrestling. And they screwed it up. So Jonathan Gresham is my number one. I really hope he finds something somewhere. And, I mean, he got his wife. I mean, I can't complain no more than that. The man's got it good right now. But, I mean, he's going to go to Impact. He's going to get buried because of poor marketing. His technical skill will only come out in Impact, and nobody's hardly going to see it, and they're going to keep considering him.
You know what, though? What if he went to New Japan for a minute? Just like AJ Styles did.
Whoa. Did you forget he's with Jordan Grace? Are you going to leave Jordan Grace and go to New Japan?
No, these guys all leave their wives to other. Look, Johnny Nitro didn't take his wife at every promotion he was at. She went to a few, AAA and Impact, but I'm saying, he tried. And they dropped the ball on her too. She's a bad mug in the ring too. I'm a fan of hers. Yes, absolutely.
I'm a huge fan of Taya.
But even when Rich Swann, his wife was in Impact, he was in WWE. I'm just saying, these guys, they don't have the same dates where they wrestle 300 times a year anymore, where they can still have a family life.
When you're a couple, though, I think it's smart when you're not together in the same company, though, because things go south for one, it goes south for two, usually.
Oh, they stopped Becky Lynch's momentum when they put her with Seth Rollins. When she was the man, they stopped her momentum.
When WWE got rid of Taya, Johnny was right behind.
Yeah.
It's like their package deal when you're a couple.
Yeah. What's next, Mastermind?
Well, we're going to go to this part that I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull it up because I had it up and then everything went out.
You can tell this guy's going to be a champ because now everything he says goes viral.
So we do moment of the week. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, go ahead and do moment of the week.
Okay,
Mark, you want to go first?
Yeah, well, for me, it was the Jungle Boy promo. I mean, Jungle Boy showed some fire. I didn't know he had in him. I mean, and him and Christian were really hitting below the belt.
It's a
I
good
loved
promo.
it. I loved it when Jungle Boy said, "No, for his wife, call me." That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I just said I didn't know he had that kind of fire in him to cut that promo, and then Christian still talking about his father and everything. I mean, that was my moment of the week.
Hey, good. And you know what? That shows Christian's effect working with those two kids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Working with other wrestlers. Because that was the knock on Jungle Boy. He never
Right.
showed fire and he never
Exactly.
gave a good promo.
Right.
So
And like
that's a
I said,
great moment of the week, Marcus.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
You mind if I go next, Tony?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought Brian Danielson, I never know what to call him putting Garcia over was
Yeah.
my moment of the week because first of all, it shows these guys get it. He sees how talented these younger guys are that are coming up. But I thought that was my match of the week.
Yeah.
I thought that was a hell of a match. It reminded me of like Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, or it was just technical wrestling at its best. And these guys went at it. You know, he let him shine. Then he played on his concussion thing where he did the drop kick, and I really thought he was hurt. I was like, oh man. I said he hit his head. It's happening all over again. I didn't know it was a work. I didn't know he was working that into the match. What's so great about Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan, he still believes in the art of storytelling with the wrestling match. It's what makes Ric Flair the greatest. It's what, put Cena and Stone Cold and The Rock and all these guys over the years is the fact that they can tell a story in the intertwines of a match. And so my moment of the week is him putting Garcia over.
All right. Want me to do mine or you want to do that clip first?
No, do yours.
All right. My moment of the week. Well, first of all, real quick, I'm really happy they announced that they're gonna crown the trios champion in the AEW at All Out.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yes. My moment of the week was honestly Hook winning the title.
That
the
was
FTW
nice.
title.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was like when he came out to challenge for it, I just felt like you gotta give it to the kid. I mean, a lot of us grew up with ECW when Taz was the FTW champion, so like, how could you not give that kid that moment? And what made that moment even better was the moment afterwards.
Yeah.
Ricky Stark. I mean, not just Hobbs turning on him and setting that up. Ricky Stark's promo about what he did for that title, he was spot on.
Yep.
That entire from the time Hook came out there to the turn, that entire moment was phenomenal.
And Taz was doing commentary the whole time.
Yeah.
Taz was doing commentary. Taz was putting over Ricky Starks.
Yep.
Saying that he was the longest reigning FTW champion, longer than him, longer than Sabu. Like, I mean, I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed that whole thing.
I did too. That was almost my moment of the week too.
Yeah.
Until I saw that match, boy.
Yeah,
But
I went back and forth for all three of those.
Well, my moment of the week is a little different.
Well, real quick before you give yours, so all three of ours came from Dynamite.
I know. Which is kind of strange because mine came from WWE Raw.
Wow.
Go ahead.
And it was the fact that Roman Reigns told him your daddy ain't here.
Yeah, that was
fun. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
I was rolling.
Honestly, I was torn. I
fell out.
Yeah.
I
fell out.
Yeah, that was my moment of the week. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was that tipped it off, and I'm like, something got to beat this. Come on, and nothing did to me.
And they said he went off script. They said he went off script when he said that.
It was good though. That was good.
Ain't here.
That was good.
What you gonna do? Daddy's not home. So
that was good.
There's levels to this. Theory ain't on that level.
Yeah.
He will be though. He will be. I got a lot of confidence in Theory.
Later, not sooner.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a little bit sooner than what people think.
No, just because you put a belt on this kid, I'm telling you, he's not ready.
Wait a minute. You gonna tell me about putting the belt on somebody? You think I'm that stupid?
No, remember they did that to Orton. Orton wasn't ready. When Orton first got his first world title and was the youngest world champion.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I love Theory. Theory, I know what the future looks like in wrestling, and that kid's a part of it, but just not now. Just not now.
Yeah, because his daddy ain't there. But
his daddy gone.
No, that was a great. That was a great moment. I almost picked that one. I almost did pick that one.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to the next one. This is dealing with Dax Harwood, something he said, and I want to get your opinion on this. I'm gonna go last in this one.
All right.
Because I have a very specific outlook on this answer that he gave. But it's going to go into where he's talking about veterans criticizing the current talent.
Yep.
So here we go.
About the main event there, tag team to close out a pay-per-view. 2 out of 3 falls, amazing. Some people already calling that potential match of the year candidate. It is in my bucket right there, guys. But the after match celebration too. And who was that youngster up there? Can you share who that was? Any idea? No idea. I don't know if they were.
His name's Austin. Never met him until tonight. But,
okay.
Yeah, he just had a sign that said "I'm FTR's #1 fan," which is crazy because he was wearing a Blackpool Combat Club shirt or whatever. But yeah, he was holding a sign that said he was FTR's #1 fan, and I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, I went through life not knowing if people loved me and liked me. You know, I had a great childhood. My parents were great. They worked their butts off. But I don't think I knew exactly what love was, you know? And when I see families out there, I try to watch my mouth as much as I can, but when I see families out there, like, it brings joy to me because like I said, that's the only time that I can remember me and my dad and enjoying the time together was watching wrestling. And that's what wrestling is all about. It's about emotion, and it's about making people feel a certain way. But also, man, it's about having that connection. And if we can bring families together, man, that means the world to me. So this little kid, you know, he had his sign and said he was FTR's #1 fan. And I went out there and I wanted to at least try to make this night something that, you know, he remembers for quite a while. Because who knows, maybe he might not ever be able to come back to another wrestling show, or he may not, you know, get out too much. But if he got out just tonight, if tonight was the one night that he got out and got to hang out with his mom, then I wanted to make it the best night possible.
Yeah, I think it goes back to some of the things we touched on earlier in the interview, like with mental health and with wrestling being an escape for people. And the mental health aspect of it is it's moments and it's memories, and it's making people forget about everything going on outside and everybody being stressed out or whatever you're dealing with. You can come here and you can just press pause and you can escape and you can have fun. And hopefully that's a moment and a memory that Austin will never forget. But also, like, the crowd tonight, when he got in there, everybody was happy with him.
Yeah.
And everybody's cheering for him. And I'm getting stupid goosebumps right now because of it.
Like, yeah, what if that happened? You know, what if he raised his hands on the ropes and all these people freaked out? And in his mind, he's like, man, they like me. These people like me. You know, that's something I didn't feel very much. And maybe tonight was the one night he felt that. And that's
like, everybody in that building had one purpose, and it's to have fun. And especially when he got in the ring, was to make him feel welcomed and to make sure that he knew, like, it was a cool moment. And like, to sit there and have like a conversation with him, to hear like his excitement and to see his mom's face when we took him back over, like, that's what it's all about. Like, it's not about like, this is cool, yes, like, this is cool, yes, but at the end of the day, like, when I was his age and I had nothing to look forward to, that would have been really fucking cool.
And this is the only major sporting company in the world that would do that. I promise you. Everyone else would be afraid to get sued or whatever, you know.
I'm not crying either.
Last question for Chance. All right, I'm Steve from NBC Sports Boston.
Sorry, I went back too
Everyone
far.
compares
Here we
you to
go.
the greatest tag teams of all time, but is it hard for you to admit that you are one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Because obviously, humbly, you want to say, "Oh, we're not." Maybe. But at the same time, a lot of people compare you to, like, the Hart Foundation you brought up earlier. Is it hard for you to actually sit down and go, you know what? We are one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
I'm just talking to him. No, I don't know. I don't think I've honestly, if we're being honest about it, I don't think I've ever sat down and thought about, are we the greatest of all time? Are we one of the greatest of all time? Are we Mount Rushmore material? I don't know if I've ever thought about that. The things I think about is when Bret Hart texts me, or Dennis Conner texts me, or Arn Anderson texts me, or these people that I looked up to, who I loved, and admired, and they tell me how great we are, or what we did was great, or those are the things that I'll forever remember. Like Arthur Ashe last year, we had this match with Sting, and I went to Sting the week before in catering, and he was eating catering, and this was a year ago, so he had relatively just come back. And I said, hey, I know at 62 years old, I know you probably have some doubt in your mind, and that's okay. We all do. We're all insecure, And I said, but if there's ever a night you wanted to go 30 minutes, next week is your night. Because I promise you, we can make sure. I said, we know Sting better than you know Sting. And we can make sure that happens. So we had the match, Arthur Ashe, and I was on vacation with my family. And I got a call from Sting, but I was out. We were at the beach. I was out at the beach, and I come back up, and I saw my phone. I was like, what number is it? So I listened to this voicemail. It's like a 3-minute voicemail. It's from Sting. And he could not, he just, I still have it saved on my phone. But he said, hey, I can't thank you enough. And he called Dan too.
I answered, messed up. I should have had the voicemail.
but he left me this long 3-minute message, and he said, I can't thank you enough. He said, you guys went out of your way to make sure that I looked as good as possible. He said, I was so afraid that I embarrassed myself. He said, and then I got on on Twitter, and I read the results, and I read what the reviews were, and people still love me. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, you're Sting. Of course, we still love you, and you're still the man. But he had that doubt, and those are the things that I'm like, hey, greatest tag team of all time. That may happen, whatever. It may not happen. Top 10, whatever. But those are the things I remember. My hero, when I was a kid, has a voicemail to me. He took time out of his day to call me and say, hey, you're the best, or you guys are the best I've ever been in the ring with. Thank you so much for that. That made my career. And that's the things that mean the most to me,
Yeah, I'll just add to it real quick. It's just the same with what he was saying. I don't know if I've ever really sat down like I want to be, and I say it, but I don't know if I've ever really sat down and thought about, okay, where do we compare to the Midnights? Where do we compare to the Hart Foundation?
In my mind, we don't.
Where do we compare to rock and roll? Yeah, so like I don't know exactly where we rank, but just being in any sort of debate right now, like top 10, that's insane to me. When you think about the amount of tag teams, the great tag teams that have been here before us, and we obviously try to make sure that their memories aren't forgotten. We always try to pay homage when we can to those guys, but I don't ever really sit down and think, man, can we be better than them? And maybe we never will be, because they did this night in and night out, so many days a year, all over the world, and that's what gave us this chance. That's what gave us this opportunity. And I never went to wrestling school. I learned by watching these guys. I never went to wrestling school. I'm just that talented. But honestly, my trainers were watching these guys and learning how they did it. So I don't know if I compare myself to them, but I know I'm thankful that they existed, and to be mentioned in the same breath as them is something I'll never forget, never take lightly.
And real quick, that's another thing too, is like we never want to, we always want to remind people where we came from, because we've got to remember as wrestlers that these guys were working 300 days a year, 350 days a year, whatever. And I mean, that sounds impossible, but they were, and they were away from their families, and they made a small percentage of what we're making now, and we're working less dates now and making more money than they were.
We have doctors at ringside.
We have doctors. We have catering. We have doctors. We have catering. He pays for our hotel. They pay for our transportation to and from the airports. That never happened because those guys, that never happened. But it happens now because of them. And so, I'm going to get some heat for saying this, but whatever. But yeah, if Cornette wants to shit on me, that's okay. I'm okay with that because he's earned that right. If Bret Hart or Booker T or whoever says, I'm not a fan of those guys because they did this, that's okay because they earned that right. You know what I mean? And I'll listen to them and I'll say, well, maybe I can maybe I can take that and say, okay, maybe I can better myself. But I'll never get mad at them for not liking something because they earned that right. Because they were away from their family a lot longer than I'm away from my family now, you know? And they paved that road. And now I can make a living and work 1 day a week, 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, and give my family a life that they may not could have afforded, you know? But it's because of the hard work they put in. And we as wrestlers have to remember that. Sorry, that was a tangent for no reason. I apologize.
Very, very deep words. I really want to know, what do you guys think about what he just said? Tony.
I mean, it was nice that the old timers reached out to them and everything, and I get where like, no, they can't really think about it in the moment that they're up there with them as far as the greatest, but as far as like, okay, they have the right to shit on them because they've been there and done that. I get it and don't get it, but it's not just in wrestling. I mean, that happens in sports, period. I mean, like the basketball player is going to say like the guys today are soft and they didn't do what they did. The football players, I mean, that just happens. But the old timers are tired to their opinion. Jim Cornette, Bret Hart, they're all entitled to their opinion. Whether it's justified or not, I don't know. I mean, it's different eras. I mean, it's just completely different now. It's just way, way different now. I mean, they ain't working 300 days. I mean, in their heads, I get where the old timers are coming from when they might say that stuff because it is different now. They ain't working 300 days a year, and they making a lot more money. I mean, all the stuff they said was spot on. I 1,000% agree with everything they said.
Chris.
Well, I want to correct something. He said, if Jim Cornette said, I can honestly say Jim Cornette gushes over FTR and says they are one of the best tag teams of all time. And he was the captain of the Midnight Express. We already know. I just want to say this, and I hope, because Bobby has seen behind the scenes and he's been in it. From a bystander, FTR, to me, they just get it. Like I go, you know, it's like a Kobe Bryant wanting to be better than Michael Jordan. When you're in the moment, Michael Jordan wasn't saying he wanted to be the greatest basketball player that's playing in the NBA. I want to be the best. He wasn't saying I'm the greatest of all time in the moment. People make those judgments and decisions after your career's over. So we will be able to argue that for FTR. And guess what? They're in my top 3. They might go down as the greatest of all time. They're that good. But it takes those greats that paved the way to get you to where you're at. And he's basically saying, that's why we can't put ourselves in that boat. We didn't have to do what they had to do. We didn't, so we can do what we do now. They paved the way. They grinded. The pain and that's why they left WWE. It was all about family. They wanted to be able to spend more time at home with their families. It's not about the money with these guys.
1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah, and I get it. And I'm going, you know what? If you got that opportunity and your family's the most important, that's who's your backbone. Do you, boo? Do you? That's how you do it. You do what makes you happy. And these guys just get it. And then they still give their all when they're in the ring, like it's their last match. We saw them against the Briscoes. I mentioned DYI, but I can mention the Usos. Everybody they've ever wrestled, FTR puts on a match like it's their last match. When we talk about, we're not going to give these guys a 2.5. We're not going to give them a 3. That's not going to happen. They're not that type of tag team. So I'm just with it, man. These guys make me love them more and more every time they open their mouths and every time they wrestle. I'm one of their biggest fans.
Marcus.
Well, both the guys kind of touched on a lot what I would have said. I think FTR don't want to rate themselves right now because they're like, well, we're not finished yet.
Right.
So I don't know where we rate as of right now. I mean, us as fans, we all can put them where we put them. But, in their opinion, it's like, they plan on having several more years left in their career. So it's like, let's wait till we finish, then we can have that conversation as we reflect. And as in terms of, receiving the phone calls from the veterans, I think what I took from that was if you listen to the guys he listed, everybody he listed was synonymous with tag teams, and great tag teams as that. And so from them guys to call him and praise him, that's probably a high compliment considering today's product. So that's what I took from that, was that, a lot of the old vets probably shit on today's current product, particularly the tag team division. And when you look at the way FTR wrestles, I mean, you could put them in with a Midnight, Arn Tully, Rock and Roll, and it would be 1980, 1990 all over again. We wouldn't be able to tell the difference with the way they wrestled. So I think that's like a high compliment for him, and I'm sure that was really, made him ecstatic about that. So that's what I took from that.
All right, let me go ahead and speak on this. As those who are watching and who will watch don't know, yes, I was in the ring. Yes, I did. I did a lot of traveling. I did a lot of things on this road and been in a lot of locker rooms and saw a lot of things I can't talk about. Boy. But the one thing that got me when I saw that, a lot of young wrestlers nowadays don't understand about that tradition, that homage, the fundamentals that you pass down because you're honoring that sport. It's a lot of things that happen in tag team wrestling that people like the Young Clucks, I'm just going to say that right off top,
they just don't get it.
But it's not they don't get it, they can't do it. And they ignore those fundamentals. And it's like baking a cake. I'm sorry. You're not going to put baking powder in place of flour.
Right.
You got to have those fundamentals in there for it to work, for it to be that key match. The one thing about me, and as I went through the locker room, and I've been through these locker rooms, and I met all of these guys, is that I'm not going to lie to you. There's some snakes in the business. There's some people you don't believe, you don't trust, and you don't listen to. With that being said, you have to know when to listen. You have to know who is really speaking out to not improve themselves, but improve your match and improve the show itself. These guys are people I would listen to in the locker room. These guys I would pull to the side and ask them questions on what to do and what not to do. Because these guys are the ones that's going to tell you honestly what you need to do so you can better yourself and better the product itself. These guys are invaluable to a wrestling federation. I don't care if they do want to retire, they should be coaches. Because it's like the LeBron James versus Michael Jordan thing, to me, LeBron James is the Young Bucks. Cocky, think they're the best, blah, 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 exclaiming all over the place. But FTR is like Jordan. Jordan never had to say he was the best. He just went out there and did it. He went out there and performed. And any type of situation that you put him in, he adjusted to and excelled in that. And that's what FTR does. Whatever type of match you put him in, which is lucha, whether it's strong style, whether it's American, whether it's this, catch can, no matter what style you put in, they adjust and they perform to a top level. Yep. That's what makes you the best. And unfortunately, you have people in power, Young Clucks and Kenny Omega. I said it. That don't seem like that they want to acknowledge that or appreciate that. When they made that book Killing the Business, they wasn't lying. That's what they were trying to do. And I'm glad to see that there's people like FTR around, CM Punk. Even though he's a little bit more brash than them, CM Punk does care about the business. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Bryan. I'm glad there's people around in AEW to keep that boat straight, because if they left,
William Regal.
Yeah, Regal. Well, he just got there. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, he's been giving back for your people. Always, he was training wrestlers when he was an active wrestler.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, of course I give it to Regal. Regal's a man.
Yeah, he is.
With his spot of tea.
I'm a fan.
I'm a big fan of him. But
so, hey, Bobby. So, how did WWE screw this up? We know Triple H can see it. How did you screw up the greatest tag team in wrestling right now and just let them walk out the door? And then they tried to offer them.
Wait. It's easy though. Vince never gave a shit about tag team wrestling. So
hold on. And plus, I don't own a WWE, so I couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. These guys, you can see it, and then look, just the watching him speak, like having that forum to speak on. These are the kind of things WWE can do again to make their wrestlers come to life. And you know how you connect with the wrestler? They don't do stuff like that. These guys, they can't even keep the same name when they leave NXT and get to Raw. They changed their name. We're going, I just saw them on you last week at a different name.
No, the problem in WWE is they're not wrestlers; they're sports entertainers. And Vince don't care nothing about tag team wrestling.
But they had the greatest wrestlers: FTR, Daniel Bryan.
They don't want wrestlers.
They had them.
They don't want wrestlers.
That's the problem. They don't want them.
They don't want money. All these guys are money.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
They're making money now.
I know they are.
That's the problem. They don't see that they can make more money. They look at what they got in their hand instead of looking at what they can make. That's the problem.
I'm so glad AEW came along. Imagine if they didn't come along 3 years ago. They'd either still be going back to Impact. ROH was going to go under. It would just be Impact and WWE.
Yeah, I agree.
They fired over 90 wrestlers. Where would all those guys be?
I don't know. It's sad. But Dax Harwood. The heck was that?
I wasn't over here.
Wasn't me.
Phone call.
Oh. You got Asian chicks in the basement too, huh? All right.
No, I wish I had any chicks in the basement.
That sounded kind of creepy. I'm gonna leave that. No, I'm gonna leave it.
You set me up.
No, I'm just playing. But
yeah, it's all cool.
I wanted to end that on that note because I think Dax Harwood speaks a lot of truth. And for you fans out there,
he's a star.
Listen to him. Dax Harwood is the man. Like I've said from the beginning when he wrestled CM Punk, Dax Harwood for AEW champion and president. I'm telling you. This
guy, he's it.
But not only that, when you pick your choice of wrestling, if you watch it in person at an independent show or you go to WWE or whatever, look for guys like that, like this. Because this is what the essence of wrestling is all about. The Dax Harwoods of the world.
The Undertakers, the Dax Harwoods. Those guys.
We can't compare that. We don't know that.
No, I'm just talking about being a locker room leader and just getting it and caring about the business.
Yeah, he did.
The Undertaker's up there.
Yeah. But Dax Harwood number one to me, period.
Yeah. He is. I'm a fan.
All right, guys. That's our show for today. I do want to thank you for tuning in to part 2 because the blackout just did a lot. Boy. Somebody hitting poles and stuff. Boy.
It was rough. It was a rough one.
Hey, but we had some good content on here. Next week, AEW Ring of Honor versus SummerSlam 1-on-1. Let's see who we gonna pick to win it.
We know who's gonna win it.
Can we just say it now?
It won't be that tough.
No.
AEW or ROH versus SummerSlam? You mean ROH, right?
ROH. We will discuss this next week.
And y'all got a link to watch the Ric Flair thing? Is that going? That start at 7? What I say?
We'll talk about that off camera.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Thank you, Tony.
Sorry.
Nobody listen to me. All right, but
Sorry.
Oh, but hey, guys, thank you for tuning in. Tony Motown Allen, Krista Forza Woods, Marcus Buckley. I am the mastermind, Bob Rogers, saying, "Woo,
Woo!
We will definitely see you in the future."